Hey everyone, this is Karen Waxman, founder of Retail MBA. Today we're going to be talking about how you can get your product into a retail store. So if you have a great product and you want to sell to retail stores, this training will give you some things to think about, quick tips and strategies on how you can get your product into a retail store. With that said, let's get started on today's training.
Today, I want to talk about the 5 things to consider when approaching retail chains as a beginner. So if you are somebody new to retailers and you're thinking about going after them and you're just really curious about approaching them and so forth, here are 5 things to consider when approaching retail chains. One thing to consider is that they actually want to buy products, even if the economy says otherwise. So what does that mean? People are always saying that retail is going under and that online is the only way and so forth. And the truth is it's not true. Retailers are still here. They're going to be here for a while. They might change the game later on, but for now, definitely here to stay. And really all that means for you is that even when the economy's tough and so forth, they're still looking for new products. So don't assume that if maybe you're hearing that things are just drying up in your area and so forth, that the retailers are stopping to buy. It's not actually true. They're always needing products to fit in stores. They actually have X number of square footage they're accountable for in their stores. And so they really are always looking to fill spots in their stores. So don't worry about it. They're always looking for new products. They're not going to ignore you just because things are tight. They're already dealing with that already. So they're still always buying new products. So don't think about it that way. Another thing to consider as a newbie is that they're always looking for that next new product. So if you have anything new at all, anything interesting, innovative, anything that's not on the market today, or anything that's exciting or whatever, they absolutely want to hear about you, and you should definitely approach them with your product because they are hungry for new products and they really want to know about you. Another thing to consider when approaching retail chains as a beginner is that they're really looking for long-term partnerships. So what does that mean? Beyond the fact that you want to get a purchase order from these retailers, you also want to help them once your product gets in stores. And what that really means is that you really want to think through your marketing plan, how you're going to help them drive sales to stores, because it's one thing to put your product into their stores and then have them sell products because they already have the stores. It's another thing to put some extra effort into getting the word out that your product is in, say, Walmart or whatever, because it helps them. It helps you. You make more money if the product sells and so forth. And ultimately, it helps you with repeat business and all sorts of wonderful, magical things. So when you're talking to buyers, their thought in their mind, an ideal vendor would be someone who is a partner. And that partner is going to share with them how they're going to help them sell. And that will really support your interaction with these buyers. If you're talking about all the different ways that you're going to support them, so that people will buy products in stores, that is something that they really love. Another thing to consider when approaching retail chains as a beginner is that if your product actually sells, they will be your best friend and they will buy lots of things from you. Not just that one product, lots of products. I have seen customers get products in the stores. Once that product converts, once that product sells, they will pay attention to you, and anytime you bring them a new product, they will take a look at it because you're now the money person, and all they really care about is making money with products and so forth. So that's something to consider. The last thing to consider when approaching retail chains as a beginner is they cannot stand it if you call them if you're from another country. So what does that mean? If you're trying to reach out to retailers and you're in, say, the UK or Canada, maybe Canada's okay, but let's just say India or China or something like that, and you're trying to sell to US retailers, they really do not like it if you call them if you are in another country. It's not that they're lazy or anything, they just are really busy and they're not going to deal with time zone issues or anything like that. They really honestly are not interested in that. So you really want to think about that if you are from another country. There are many strategies to sell in the retail chains, but calling them from, say, the UK and assuming a callback is not the way to sell to retail chains in the United States. And it actually really annoys them. Don't worry, there are ways to sell to retailers. You're just going to have to, there's other strategies, I would say. And that's just a typical way, though, is people ignore that. They just call buyers and assume that there's something wrong if the buyer's not calling them back if they live overseas. And anyways, they just can't stand that. Anyways, I hope that got you thinking about selling to retail chains, and I hope it provided value for you. If you want to learn exactly how to approach, pitch, and sell to retailers as a beginner, as someone who's never sold anything before, who isn't into sales, who has no buyer relationships or anything, but you just want to make money with your physical product, you definitely want to take a look at my Retail MBA Training Program. The link to that program is listed below this video. It is powerful. You can power through it in a weekend and get all of your answers on how to make money in retail chains. I give you the exact scripts, pitches, and everything related to selling to retail chains, and it's magical. And I've made people millionaires with that program. It's a great product, and I hope you take a look at it. So otherwise, please be on the lookout for additional videos I create. I'm trying to consistently bring you content on how to make money with physical products, and I'm just here to support. This is Karen Waksman with Retail MBA, and I look forward to connecting with you. Thanks so much.